What's going on, everyone? DarkScheme here, and today I'll be giving you guys my predictions on the final week of the HCS Pro League matches. But before we get into that, let's take a look at these standings. Once again, nothing surprising coming from Counterlogic Gaming. Enigma 6 finally able to take the number 2 spot in the Pro League, and Envious dropping to 3rd. Renegades able to secure that 4th spot, at least for now, and Evil Geniuses able to go up in that ranking from 6th to 5th, with Allegiance finally sitting at the number 6 spot. Optic Gaming and Team Liquid still sitting at the 7 and 8 spot, and with only 2 days, 4 matches to play out, they will definitely have to prepare themselves for the relegation matches coming up in just a little bit. And with that being said, let's take a look at the schedule for this week, for the final week of the Pro League. Today, Thursday, July 14th, we'll have Team Liquid versus Envious kicking it off. And in this series, while Team Liquid is at the very bottom of the Pro League, it comes to no surprise that all these young guns do have the potential to take a few games off of Envious and even the whole series. For Team Liquid to come out on top, they'll definitely have to be playing at their best. And in recent scrims, they have been performing a lot better than they have in the past. And it'll really just come down to performing during that Pro League game. For this series, I do have Envious coming out on top, taking the entire series 3-2. Second match of the day will be Counterlogic Gaming versus Allegiance. And once again, Allegiance, after making that roster change to drop Goofy and add Hines, has seen great potential for this team. While I don't think that they'll take out Counterlogic Gaming, I do at least see Allegiance taking one game from CLG, and I believe this series will end 3-1. Third match of the day will be Renegades versus Enigma 6. And since Renegades has been able to break their losing streak in the Pro League, we've seen some great play from Renegades themselves. For Enigma 6, they've seemed a little shaky in scrims lately, but nonetheless, I feel like Enigma 6 will be one of those teams to perform, and this series can go either way. But the series score will be 3-2, and I believe the team coming out on top will be that Enigma 6 team. Fourth and final match of this Thursday will be Evil Geniuses versus Optic Gaming. And while it comes to no surprise that Evil Geniuses has been practicing a little bit more at this point, Evil Geniuses is just becoming a gatekeeper for Optic Gaming. I see the series score ending in a 3-1 fashion, with a win going to Evil Geniuses. And moving on to the Friday matches of July 15th, Renegades will be kicking off the first game of the day versus Team Liquid. Seeing these two rosters, it'll really all come down to seeing if Team Liquid can break Renegades' momentum and keeping the pace of the game for themselves. Unfortunately, if Renegades comes out hot that day, I see the series score really ending in a 3-1 fashion, Team Liquid only able to take one game while Renegades finishes it out strong. Next match will be Allegiance versus Optic Gaming, and Allegiance for Friday I see coming out on top, taking that decisive 3-0 victory over Optic Gaming. For this series, it'll come down to Allegiance playing the objective games correctly and not giving Optic any momentum in the Team Slayers. Second to last match on Friday will be Enigma 6 versus Team Envious, and this will definitely be one to watch, as last time Envious lost to Enigma 6, it was in a reverse sweep. The series ended in a 3-2 fashion, with Envious taking the first 2 games of the series, but Enigma 6 closing it out extremely strong. For this series, the teams will have to be coming out at the top of their game, making very minimal mistakes. With Enigma 6 versus Envious being my match of the week, I believe it'll be a little bit tough to really predict the outcome of it. Overall, I see this series going in a 3-2 fashion, with Envious coming out on top. And fourth and final match for the entire HCS Pro League will be Evil Geniuses versus Counterlogic Gaming. To reiterate, Evil Geniuses has been looking a little stronger recently, but versus Counterlogic Gaming, the number 1 seeded team in the game, I do not see Evil Geniuses coming out strong in games other than Team Slayer. I see a few close potential objective games, but overall, I believe the series score will end in a 3-1 score, with CLG coming out on top, and the only game that Evil Geniuses will be taking will most likely be a Team Slayer game. And that's pretty much my predictions for the final week of the HCS Pro League. And be sure to tune in to twitch.tv/Halo later today to catch all those matches. And with that said, let me know what you think about the predictions. How are your feelings towards Allegiance? Do you think they'll perform this week? And how do you feel about Enigma 6, as they've been looking a little shaky in scrims, but also a completely different team when they perform during those Pro League matches? I'll leave you with that. And as always, I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.